Hello, time travelers, and welcome, new time travelers. I hope last night was more treats than tricks. I know, stick to history, right? So, without further ado, if you enjoy learning about historical events from around the world, then don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Without further ado, let's get into it. Today we're going to start out in 996 when Holy Roman Emperor Otto III granted the Bavarian Bishopric of Freiburg 30 royal hides, or about 8 square kilometers, which is about 2,000 acres of land, in a deed that contained the first recorded use of the name Österreich, from which the name Austria is derived. In 1512, for the first time, the general public was able to view Michelangelo's fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican Palace. The artwork is among the greatest achievements in Western painting. From my understanding, it's the painting that I guess it was Jesus or someone and God or whoever. Like, one's laying like this with his arm stretched out, hand like this, and then there's another figure, and they're going like this. That's my understanding of it. I've never actually seen this painting. 99 years later, in 1611, William Shakespeare, The Tempest was reportedly performed for the first time. In 1755, Lisbon was heavily damaged by an earthquake that demolished more than 9,000 buildings and killed as many as 30,000 people. 10 years later, the Stamp Act went into effect, making the first British parliamentary attempt to raise revenue through direct taxation of all American colonial, commercial, and legal papers. In 1871, American author Stephen Crane, whose works included The Red Badge of Courage, that was published in 1895, was born. 1922 is when the Grand National Assembly, at the behest of Kemal Atatürk, voted to abolish the Stalemate of Turkey. Moving on to 1938, in a horse race that captured the imagination of Americans during the Great Depression, where Seabiscuit defeated War Admiral by 4 lengths. I have no idea what any of that just meant. Let's make a stop in 1950, where Puerto Rican nationalist members of the armed forces of the National Liberation attempted to assassinate U.S. President Harry S. Truman. On this day in 1952, and on an atoll of the Marshall Islands, Edward Teller and other American scientists tested the first thermonuclear bomb. Its power resulting from an uncontrolled self-stabilizing or self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction. In 1967, the film classic Cool Hand Luke opened in American theaters. It became especially known for Paul Newman's performance in one of his iconic anti-hero roles. On this day in 1981, Antigua and Barbuda achieved independence from the United Kingdom, with Vera Bird serving as the first Prime Minister. Our next stop will be in 1993, when Maastricht Treaty entered into force, thereby establishing the European Union. The following year, in 1994, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, also known as NASA, launched its WIN spacecraft on a mission that would include a halo orbit between the Sun and Earth to explore the space environment there. In 1997, James Cameron's Titanic, a drama about the doomed ocean liner, had its first public screening at a Tokyo International Film Festival. The movie would become one of the highest grossing of all time. It made Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet international stars. A year before the turn of the century, in 1999, American professional gridiron football player Walter Payton, who was one of the game's greatest running backs, died from bile duct cancer. I'm not sure what that is. I know what cancer is, but I don't know where the bile duct is. Anyway, 6 years after the turn of the century, in 2006, American novelist William Styron, known for his treatment of tragic themes and his rich classical prose style, highlighted in such works as Sophie's Choice, that premiered in 1979, died at the age of 81. Our final event happened in 2023, where the Texas Rangers defeated the Arizona Diamondbacks 4-1 to win the franchise first World Series. And with that, we will return to 2024 and our current history. Now let's head over to the animal kingdom for our 80th animal fact, where elephants mourn their dead. Elephants will return to places where family members had died and stand in silence over bones, sometimes bowing their heads. Now let's head into the science lab for our 80th science fact. Earth is 4.54 billion years old. Using radiometric dating, scientists have discovered that Earth is 4.54 billion years old, give or take 50 million years. This makes our planet half the age of the Milky Way, 11 to 13 billion years old. and around the third of the age of the universe, which is about 10 to 15 billion years old. That's just crazy. And with that, if you enjoy learning historical events from around the world, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. I'll see you all in the next one.